Hey, it's Kristen Johnson Brogan here, and I wanted to take you on a shopping tour at one of my favorite grocery stores. So I wanted to just touch on this source concept. So don't forget this concept when you go grocery shopping, really simple. So here's an example. First source, apple. We know apple's gonna be super healthy. It's the first source, it falls from the tree, it tastes delicious, it's high in fiber and all sorts of vitamins and minerals. The second source would be applesauce. So we lose some of the fiber and some of the good healthy stuff in the processing. Third source, further away from the source, would be apple juice. So this, we completely have no fiber and there's sometimes some preservatives added to keep it fresh. So we know that an apple is going to be closer to the source, it's going to be healthier for us than apple juice. So think about that with whatever it is that you're buying. Many times foods closest to the source will be the most nutritious, they'll be the most flavorful, and they'll be the least expensive. Potato versus potato chips. What's going to be healthier? And if you are buying something in a package, just look at the ingredients and ask yourself, what's the source? Okay, I'm here at the food bars because I find that most people are very confused when it comes to food bars, protein bars, because there's so many choices. So the number one way to figure out the quality of a product is to look at the ingredients. When it comes to looking at the back of the label, you don't have to worry about the calories, the carbs, the protein, the fats. We know we need those things, but it just depends on the quality. So looking at the ingredients will be the number one indicator of quality. One of my other favorite bars is That's It bars. And these are a little bit lighter than a Raw Revolution bar. LAR bars are really good. And these are just 2 ingredients, apples and cherries. That's it. That's why they're called That's It bars. Want something different than just water? You could try a coconut water. Coconut water is kind of a healthier version of a sports drink. So rather than do an energy drink or sports drinks that have a lot of ingredients and are actually not good for us at all, we're doing coconut water. Number one ingredient, coconut water, 1 ingredient. We know it's going to be healthy for us. It's very hydrating. It's really delicious. I love this brand, Amy and Brian. I like a lot of the coconut waters that come in a can because they tend to be a little bit sweeter. So when it comes to shopping healthy, you have to make mistakes. Find things that you like. There's some things that you may not like the taste of, but there's so many options and it doesn't have to be hard. So I'm here in the wine section because I had to touch on wine. A lot of people ask us at On Target Living, well, what about wine? I love wine, or I love beer, or I love my spirits. How do I choose this? Our rule is to follow moderation. I'm in the salty foods because none of us want to give up anything, especially our chips and our crackers. And it's not about giving anything up, it's just about making everything better. So if you love chips, find a healthier chip. So now we are in the tea section. So when it comes to tea and coffee, these beverages actually contain the most pesticides and fertilizers out of any other beverage. So you really want to make sure that you're choosing these organic. So pesticides, fertilizers that can all disrupt our system over time. So choosing organic teas is number one step. So if you drink a lot of tea, if you drink a lot of coffee, don't give those up, just make them better and choose organic. My favorite teas are herbal teas, and these tend to be non-caffeinated. So this is stuff like peppermint tea and ginger tea and maybe turmeric tea. Turmeric tea is really great for pain and inflammation, and you can actually make your own. So if you were just getting ginger or turmeric, you could shave a little bit in hot water and there you have it. Maybe add a little honey. Don't even do decaf. So do the real thing of everything. A lot of times decaf coffee and decaffeinated tea can be even more processed. So there's processing that goes into stripping the caffeine. Sometimes they use formaldehyde, sometimes they use chemical agents. So just stick to the real thing. Choose organic tea and coffee whenever possible. You can also do a better quality coffee. If you know the source of your coffee, where it's coming from, Intelligentsia coffee is one of my favorites. I live in Chicago. This is a local coffee company to me, and they follow fair trade, direct trade practices. So it's going to be a healthier coffee. There's a lot of love that goes into the process, and it tastes really good. So I don't necessarily have to choose organic when it comes to something that I know and I love and I trust, and I really know the brand and what they stand for. The cereal aisle, there's so many choices. It can be really sometimes confusing to know what's healthy, what's not. Again, you want to look at the ingredients. Obviously, there's going to be some better cereals than others, even if it is an organic brand or maybe it's a healthier brand. So just looking at the ingredients, less is going to be best. Make sure that you can pronounce everything. There's lots of kid-friendly cereals, so you don't have to feel like you have to always get that generic staple cereal that your kids love. Maybe you're upgrading the quality. So maybe you're doing a better Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maybe you're doing a better Fruit Loop with no artificial coloring. One of my all-time favorite cereals is rolled oats. So we know rolled oats are going to be healthy because guess what? How many ingredients in rolled oats? One ingredient. We know it's going to be healthy for us. There's so many different options when it comes to oats. You can do rolled oats, you could do steel cut oats, you could do oat groats. Oat groats are that first source of the oats, so they're going to be a little bit thicker. You can throw them in a crock pot, you can cook them overnight. Steel cut oats are just the chopped up oat groats, and so you'll have to cook those a little bit longer too. You can put them in a stovetop. Rolled oats are kind of my go-to because I can cook these in a pan or I can just eat it raw like a cereal. So normally I top it with raisins and nuts and coconut milk and cinnamon, lots of good stuff. And when it comes to grains, we need grains. We need all of these things in our diets because guess what? If we don't have grains, if we don't have carbs, we don't have energy. It's our fuel source. So it all depends on the type of carb that we're choosing. We're not giving these things up because when we do give them up, we tend to be cranky and not very fun to be around, and it's really hard to sustain long term. So I want to show you how you can shop really healthy, find products that you can live with the rest of your life without giving up those things that you love. In the super seed aisle, super seeds are awesome for digestion. They're high in omega-3 fats. So when it comes to fruits and vegetables, do you buy organic or do you not? My rule is to buy Dirty Dozen produce items organic. And these are just items where you eat the skin. The skin tends to absorb the most pesticides and fertilizers. So if you're eating an apple or a pear, you want to make sure that you buy these organic if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Still use the source concept. But anything where you eat the skin, buy that organic. And then things that you don't eat the skin, like avocados and bananas, don't worry about buying those organic. We want to make this lifestyle really affordable. So just use your judgment and find things that you like, find things that are in season. Many times you find produce at the farmer's market, it won't have a organic seal, but many times it will be organic. So it's just an added cost that the farmers have to pay. So just knowing where your food comes from, what's the source, is a really easy way to navigate. When it comes to condiments, there's so many to choose from, of course, but again, use the ingredient rule. So if you're getting a hot sauce, do a better hot sauce. Maybe you're looking at the ingredients: water, pepper, salt, vinegar, spices. Easy, right? Genetically modified just means that that product's DNA has been altered in a way that does not occur naturally. One of my favorite cooking oils is extra virgin or virgin coconut oil. One of my favorite brands is Nutiva, and I love to use coconut oil as a replacement for butter. So it's solid at room temperature. I use it to cook eggs. I use it just as a substitute for butter in baking. I use it as a spread. I sometimes use it to make coconut oil popcorn, but it's especially great for digestion. So when it comes to meat, we can make our meat even better. So if we love hot dogs, rather than give up our hot dogs, maybe we just choose a better hot dog. And you don't have to search high and low for these things. They're at every single grocery store. So this is just an organic beef hot dog. It's actually real beef. You'll find that in a lot of processed hot dogs, beef isn't even in the ingredient list. Beef stock may be in there, but no actually real meat. So wild game meats are really lean and they're super nutritious. So these are things like buffalo, bison, venison, elk. When we're choosing beef, we want to make sure that we do a grass-fed beef. So this just means that the cows were able to eat their natural diet of grass or alfalfa, and always doing organic. That means that the animals are not being fed genetically modified ingredients. It's really hard on their systems, it's hard on our systems. So making sure that you're doing a better quality meat, choosing organic, choosing grass-fed, or choosing wild game meats is a really good option. When it comes to breads, there's so many options, but usually I like to always do a sprouted breads. When it comes to things to stay away from, don't take any shortcuts. So the real thing will always be better. Closest to the source will always be better. So when it comes to some of these fake meats and tofurkey and vegan mayonnaise, stay away from it. It's gonna be even more processed. It's gonna be healthier for us. Fresh fruits and vegetables or something from a bottle. So we don't get our nutrients from a bottle. Foods will be the most powerful, they'll be the most nutritious, the most beneficial, and they'll be more affordable. This really is where a healthy lifestyle starts, in the grocery store, and it doesn't have to be hard. You can find all of these healthy products pretty much at every grocery store. This is where the magic happens, okay? And this is where we can have a lot of fun.